If you watch live television or the BBC iPlayer in the United Kingdom, you should have a television licence. And if you don't, you're breaking the law.
Get a TV licence. It's cheaper than a big fine.
And it's possible that they'll use a television detector van to catch you in the act. A lot of people will tell you that television detector vans don't work. They never worked, but I'm telling you that this one did, and I'm going to explain to you how it worked. To understand how a television detector van works, you need to understand how a television image gets from a studio to your television. So the cameras inside the studio and the microphones pick up all the information and convert it into a complicated electrical signal like this. Like that. Now, to get that information to fly through the air, what we need to do is have a carrier wave. So this is an electromagnetic wave, just a simple one, like this. So what we're going to do is frequency modulate this wave, FM wave. So this is the same as FM radio, frequency modulated radio. It's the same process. And what that means is just adjusting the frequency. Now the frequency is how many of these peaks you have per second. So we could, for example, squish the frequency together a little bit so that it sort of does this. And then we could expand it out and then frequency modulate again and bring it in, so that we squash it together and expand it and squash it together and expand it. So by doing that, we can essentially embed this information into the carrier wave. And that is transmitted through the air from the television tower to your aerial and down into your television. That's enough of that. This is a particularly beautiful example of a 1969-1970s television made by the Baird Company. What I love about this is it's only got 4 channel buttons. They're labelled BBC One, BBC Two, ITV and an asterisk. And that's because there was no 4th channel at that point. And this is future-proofing for this television. They had a 4th button just in case somebody wanted to produce a 4th television channel. Didn't happen for quite a long time.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be able to say to you, welcome to Channel 4.
Now, your television signal is picked up by the aerial that's on your roof and brought down by the wire that goes into the back of the television. Now, the television is picking up all of the channels simultaneously. So to decide which channel you want, you press the button. And when you do that, what you're telling the television is that you want, say, BBC One. And it starts making a carrier wave signal for BBC One. And you can use that carrier wave signal to then decode the information, the frequency modulated information, essentially sort of undoing the process that happened in the television studio, and turn it into an actual picture with audio and everything else. Now the key here is that every channel has its own frequency that it's tuned to. It's got its own carrier wave, and the signal generator inside the back of this television that makes that signal is quite leaky. So that signal isn't just being produced inside the television, it's being emitted out into the air around you. And it's this carrier wave signal that the detector vans can detect. The Science Museum is very lucky to have this beautiful example of a television detector van that was in use up until the late 80s. Now, the BBC were particularly worried when they introduced the new television licence, the colour television licence, which was slightly more expensive because they thought lots of people would try and dodge paying the extra fee. So they brought out lots of television detector vans.
Licence dodgers, watch out. The Minister of Post and Telecommunications, John Stonehouse, is on the warpath. Nearly 1.25 million householders watch the telly and don't buy a licence. But they better, and quick. Detector vans with highly efficient equipment are out in force seeking TV bandits in an intensive campaign to cut back drastically the number of Welshes.
The Science Museum's detector van is this beautiful beast here, which is built on a comma van body. It's got two aerials on top that rotate to point at the house, and all of the windows at the back have been mirrored so you can't see anything on the inside. Now, at the time, the adverts that they put out claimed that these vans could detect not only that you were watching television,
There's a TV set on number 5.
but where in the house your television was situated,
It's in the front room,
and even what programme you're watching.
and they're watching Columbo.
To find out how they did it, let's have a look inside. What would happen is this television detector van would roll up outside of a house where they knew that the occupants did not have a television licence.
There are rather a lot of TV detector vans in this area tonight. New, more powerful vans.
And the reason they knew that is because they'd have a list of all the television licences and the address they're registered with.
Your town, your street, your home. It's all in our database.
Then they would rotate the two aerials on the top so that they pointed at the house. Then, using all of the equipment inside here, they would try to tune in to see if they could detect any of those carrier waves emitted by the leaky signal generators inside the television. And if, for example, they detected, well, I don't know, an ITV carrier wave, that would prove that whoever was inside the house had a television and it was turned on and that it was tuned to the ITV channel. Looking inside something like the Radio Times, you could then work out what the people were watching, so that you knew they were watching television and it was on ITV and that it was Coronation Street. And you could work out roughly where inside the house the television was because of where the aerials were pointed, but also you could often see the flickering of light from the television itself.
It would be good to be treated like a real television. Please, Dave. Dave?
Then what they would do is they would use this Polaroid camera to take a picture of the tiny little television screen that's inside there, which showed all the waveforms, and they would then go to the front door, knock on the front door and say, here's the proof, you're watching television, you've been watching Coronation Street, where's your television licence?
Fiona? Isn't there someone at the door?
Not having a TV licence is a criminal offence.
We know that this specific television detector van worked. There's even an operations manual out there for it. TV licensing spokespeople have said that television detector vans still work. And the suggestion has been that what they're looking for is a flickering of light coming from the television, because each television programme will have a unique fingerprint of light flickering. In 2027, the Royal Charter for the television licence comes up for renewal, and we don't know whether there will still be publicly funded television programmes. And that may mean that there's no more television licence and no more television detector vans. Who knows? What we do know is that if you're watching live television on a television in the UK, make sure that you know whether or not you need to get a television licence.
The new TV detector vans, they're in this area now.
If you'd like to come and visit this beautiful television detector van in the flesh, come to the Science and Innovation Park just outside Swindon. Details in the description below. And with that, goodbye, like and subscribe.